Bạc Tay Hậu,
Bạc Tay Hậu,
Bạc Tay Hậu Sa,
Bạc Tay Hậu Sa,
Bạc Tay Hậu,
Bạc Tay Hậu,
Bạc Tay Hậu Sa,
Bạc Tay Hậu Sa,
Bạc Tay Hậu,
Bạc Tay Hậu,
Bạc Tay Hậu Sa.
Bạc Tay Hậu Sa.
All praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to my elders and apostles that taught his truth. Peace and blessings to you, Akim, that pushes truth in the name of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakakadash. This is part 2 from the video that I did yesterday. I haven't posted part 1 because I'm going to post them together so y'all can watch them back to back. But last video and this video was proving to you, well, just telling you really more about the story of Jacob and Esau. And while the world is what it is today, I showed y'all 4 characteristics about the so-called white man, which are the Edomites, proving to you that Esau is the father of the Edomites. Esau was reported to be red and hairy, so that's 2 characteristics. He was proved to be a hunter, and he was proved to eat raw meat. And I showed this picture yesterday as well. Today we'll be reading, because remember, I was talking about, well, yesterday we went over how Jacob got the birthright because Esau sold it to him. And on this one, we'll be talking about, Esau's blessing, because Jacob's blessing is to get everything that Isaac, inherited. Well, the first of everything. And Esau was still given a blessing, though. But before I read that, I want to read again Second Esdras 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So, there's not going to be an actual end of the world. It's going to be an end of a nation, which Esau is going to be the end of the nation. Remember, I believe it was Genesis 25, where you can start reading about Jacob and Esau being born. When Esau and Jacob were born, Esau came out first, and Jacob came out right after, holding the heel of Esau, showing you what was just said right here. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And it's prophesied that in the future that the elder shall serve the younger, and Esau is going to serve us in the kingdom. So we're going to go into the blessing, Esau's blessing. Genesis 27. We're going to start at 1, and we're just going to read down. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, meaning he couldn't see well, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto me, Behold, here I am. And he said, Behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. He doesn't know when he was going to die. We all don't know when we're going to die. I mean, that's up to the Lord. Yahweh. Now, therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, which is deer, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat. Thy soul may bless thee before I die. So he's saying, Esau, go into the field, go into the woods, and get me something to eat, so I can have this one last meal. And after I have this meal, I promise you, I'll bless you. Remember, Esau is already doing some snake shit, because after all, he knew the birthright was sold. So, I mean, why hasn't any of that been, brought up to the father, Isaac? Because if this is the case, then Isaac should have been, telling Jacob, come in so I can bless you. Such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison. and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob, her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me some venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord Yahweh, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make thee savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Obey my voice, and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids, the kids of the goats, upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. So she made the food. She got the skin of the goats that was hairy, because Esau was hairy. So she put it on Jacob's smooth skin to make him feel like Esau. Remember, his eyes are very dim. That's why Jacob was like, if Isaac was to touch him, he'd know this ain't Esau. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I praise thee. Sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God, Yahweh, brought it to me. I mean, that's cold, man. That's cold. But, I mean, we got the birthright. We got the birthright. We got the birthright. That's one thing Esau can never take away from us. This knowledge. And Isaac said unto his son, really is even more than our knowledge, because the 2/3, aren't going to heed this knowledge, but they still, ultimately have the birthright. That's why they're going to be, reincarnated in the kingdom. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God, Yahweh, brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is the smell of the field, which the Lord Yahweh hath blessed. Therefore Yahweh give thee of the dew of heaven. And, I want to make sure I don't skip anything. And he said, I'm going to go back to 23. And he said, Discern him not, because his hands were hairy, and his brother Esau, and as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. So Jacob got blessed, and, he left the tent. And then he said, art thou my son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it to him, and he did eat and drink, and he brought him wine and drink. And his father Isaac said to him, come near now and kiss me, my son. No, Slack it. I don't think he left yet. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, because remember, he was wearing Esau's clothes as well, and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of the field which the Lord Yahweh hath blessed. Therefore Yahweh give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be one that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an ending of the blessing Jacob, and Jacob, all right, I don't know if that went right over y'all head, but I'm going to read the blessing again that was given over to Jacob. Therefore Yahweh give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, and blessed be that blesseth thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of the blessing Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. It's a fact. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, it is not the right, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. So, I mean, come on, man. And third time being the charm, you know, that saying that goes on. That third hit's gonna be that when Yahushua gets back, because Yahushua is gonna be the beginning of that great blessing that Jacob gets. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. Meaning he was going to live great. But if you listen to the blessing Jacob took and the blessing that was given to Esau, they were both saying that they're going to get the dew of heaven. That dew of heaven for us is going to be that, because Esau's the end of the world, Jacob's the beginning of that following. So our dew of heaven is really the arms of Yahushua. I mean, once Yahushua gets here, he's bringing a real new world order.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac his father answered said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live. If you look at America, just the Europeans really, the Edomites, how have they gotten all this land? They killed 7.7 million Indians. I mean, and that's just, that's just one part of history. I mean, if you just go through all the European armies, they've not army European nations, they've conquered everything by the sword, and that was prophecy in the first book, Genesis. Prophecy that this is how Esau. I mean, after all, you can actually put that on my YouTube page that y'all can look at. It's like a little video. If you scroll down, it'll show like a white man with guns in his hand. He's named the number one, the most armed man in America. And I mean, because after all, the blessing to Esau was the sword. So that's five. Five characteristics to show you who Esau is. He's red, because no such thing as white people. The shades of red. He's hairy. He eats raw meat. He's a hunter. And his blessing is a sword. That's five characteristics of the Edomites. And you see, they stand up to the Europeans today. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. When was the yoke broken off our neck? That was when, I believe it was the Emancipation Proclamation. It's when the so-called slaves were free. So if you go to Google, put in yoke of iron, go to images, you'll see slaves with chains around their neck. And the yoke of iron there's a certain type of chain we used to have around our neck that used to have like little iron forks that come out of them. If you go to images, here, I'll just do it right now. All right. Yoke of iron. Images. See if you can see that. What do you see? This is how we used to live. That's the yoke of iron. This is Esau's blessing. Because remember, Esau's heaven is our hell. Just how when Yahushua comes back, it's their time to experience hell. They're going to experience hell for 1,000 years. Just straight slavery. But that's going to be our heaven. Like I, tell you, when it talks about those, those rows of gold, who's gonna be laying those bricks? It ain't gonna be us. I mean, they're gonna work day and night. I think they're gonna work every day and every night besides the Sabbath. Remember, we're gonna have spiritual power where we're not going to get tired. They will be tired. And, ultimately, we have to let them get some rest, maybe, hour or two, but, or something more suffice so they can have at least a little energy. Because, but after all, we do got 1,000 years. And depending on how hard we work them, they may get done before that. And Yahweh and Yahushua may have us, start working them in other fields. Just, I was bringing up one scenario to you the other day, like, I was thinking about just a job that I could have in the kingdom, which would be, like, Yahushua giving me a chariot, and me loading it up with slaves, and, just through spiritual power or through the technology we'll have, because we'll have great technology, we'll be able to track where the most, precious gold and, diamonds and stuff like that would be. And I could just send them out there and just, whip them and beat them until we have all that we need. All that can fit in the chariot, and then take it back to the kingdom. and then, give it to Yahushua to do, whatever he got to do with it. But going back to the verse 40, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of this, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran. Salakia. So that's pretty much all we're going to get on that. And you see, really, that's all you really see these days is what? Cops killing Jakes. Jake's being harassed. Jakes that actually live in good suburban neighborhoods. You have Edomites following up to their own house saying, why are you in here? So, with that being said, once again, 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the world that followeth. I'll actually bring that up one last time. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Before that, I want to get one last scripture. This talks about the blessing Jacob was given. That is passed down to the Israelites. Because remember, Jacob was renamed Israel, and that's one of the reasons, we're called Israelites. Because we're the seed of Jacob. Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. We're going to take the Edomites, and not just the Edomites, the Hamites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the children of Elam, and the other nations that aren't, Israelites. We're going to take them, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, back to Israel, or really wherever an Israelite is, at, because we know that the whole world is going to be given to us, the Israelites, starting with, we're given to Yahushua, and that under that is King David and the elect. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So it's just prophecy that our time's coming. We will be ruling. There's only one kingdom that's ever going to last forever, and that's the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash. So, with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.